Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming today. It's lovely to have you. We have an interesting topic today, how to rock your story, and or how to become visible through rocking your story. And for this we have two esteemed speakers, one by the name of Zoe from the USA and Zine from South Africa. Please put your hands together.
Hello everybody. So, I'm actually from the United Kingdom. I wish I was from the US, but it's okay. But yeah, I'm here to show you how to rock your story and how to become visible through the power of your story. So, I have a story, and I'm sure many of you have a story, but it's how you get yourself out there, and it's how you portray yourself that makes the difference in how you can become visible. So I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. I always worked, and I've always worked hard, and that's no different again to a lot of people. However, along the way I've had a lot of adversity. So through those adverse situations, they create your story. You're always, every single day, having a story created for yourself. But it's identifying the story that comes your way and how you then can relay it to other people so that they can learn from it and they can push forward with it with lessons that you're going to direct them on. And that's what it's all about. Everybody has a story, but it's how you positively touch somebody else's life with those stories. Now, I own my own training company and I deliver personal development training to corporates as well as to business owners as well. And I also am a delivering partner for a couple of charities, and I deliver confidence building workshops for ladies from human trafficking, domestic violence, honour-based violence, as well as FGM and domestic violence. And with myself, in order to get my story out, I had to learn to set an example. So I'm also the founder of the Midlands Business and Community Charity Awards, where all the profits go back to charity. And again, that is as a result of my story. So yes, I have adverse things happen to me. So for instance, I wasn't performing very well as a child, and I turned it around. I have a master's in tourism management now, to the point where I was attacked in my own home by a perpetrator who now served 3 years in jail for the attack against me, to the point where my dad was brutally tortured, murdered to death. And again, I learned from that and I pushed forward to the point where I took a government to court and I won on all counts and was paid out by them. Wow. So I have been through immense tragedy, immense. However, I didn't just talk about what it was that I went through, the woe is me, or well, feel sorry for me. No. Because everyone goes through something. To whatever degree, it doesn't matter, someone goes through something. And it's not about sitting there, licking your wounds and feeling sorry for yourself. It's about saying, well, how can I use this situation to help other people so that when they come to something similar or the same, they can now, from my experiences, what I've taught them, can use it to help themselves grow and develop and be the best you that you can possibly be. And what I tell people, in order to rock your story, is to be uniquely you. Do not step and walk in somebody else's shoes. You have your own shoes, and you need to learn to fit those perfectly. Not everyone has, if you have size 5 feet, perfect size 5. Not everyone has that. Not everyone's narrow, not everyone's wide. Everyone has the uniqueness that you need to own it. Own your uniqueness. Don't be afraid of your uniqueness. And it's one thing, and I always say it's great to read books, and I advocate everyone, you must read books, you must learn from people, but you also must trust in your own guts, trust in yourself, because you are more powerful than you give yourself credit for. But when you start believing in yourself, great things start to happen. And the great things that start to happen does surprise you, but it makes you ever so much more powerful. And that's the start of learning to share your story. Because when people can see that you're authentically you, they can see that fire and the passion in your belly, they want to know more about you. They want to know how to get to that stage. And that's why you become visible, because something resonates with people. If you forget, if you forget that you are not the only one who's gone in that place that you're walking in, and remember that everyone goes through something in some shape or form, that's the way you connect with people. Because people always look to identify something within your life that replicates their life, and that's where the visibility comes in. You have to become relatable to people. You have to make them feel that, do you know something, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how hard a situation is, you can push through. And the only thing that stops yourself or any situation going forward is your mindset, the way in which you believe in that you can do these things. Things will sometimes feel impossible, whether in life or whether in business, but it's the perseverance that changes everything. So when we're saying how you rock your story, people are looking at how you've done it, how you've got there, the perseverance, the resilience, the determination. That's how you rock your story. Not just saying the words of what my story is. That's a small element of it. A small element. It's about giving people value. So when you're sharing your story, you must give value. You must make them feel that at the end of this, I've learned something, that I now can go forward and I can take over and take ownership of what I want within my life, within the situation I'm in. There's never anything too bad that you can't get through. People second guess themselves and feel that, oh well, other people can do it, I can't, and I wish I could be. There's no need to wish. You can give yourself what you want whenever you want, as long as you push through it. And that's what it's all about. So for me, I've trademarked my name. I now coined the Motivational Queen. And I hashtag everything. So if you're into social media, if you have coined yourself something, hashtag it. The more you hashtag it, the more visibility, and the more it will keep coming up on the feed. So when someone has that little glimmer of, oh, I want to learn more about you, they hit the hashtag and it will bring up all the various things that you've written about yourself. I do a lot of Facebook Lives and a lot of videos, as well as I do on social media a lot. But I share little bits of my story. I don't share it all because there is a lot more to my story than that. I'm also on the business board for the NSPCC. I'm also the ambassador for the Women and Families Resource Centre, the charity that helps families and helps them upskill themselves back into the world of work, or just to become a stronger family unit. I do so many different initiatives. It's because I care, because I realise, because the situation with my father, I worked for a government of a different country, and I was having death threats. And I was summoned to go over to this country even though I was having death threats and I knew I was going to die. And I actually resigned myself to dying. So I checked out, I said goodbye to my children. At the time they were 4 and 5 years of age. I'm 20. And I said goodbye to my partner. And I just was resolved that I'm going to try. I know they're going to kill me, but I am still going to make the effort and do what is right for justice. In the end, my MP actually chaired a meeting at the Foreign Office for me, stepped in, and we got the results that one of the murderers got 40 years to life without parole, so I didn't have to go. So because I've already gone to that place where I've checked out of my life, I don't do any of these things that I do now for myself, because I feel like I've made peace with myself. Unless you've been there, I don't think you might get it. Yeah, I've made complete peace with myself that there's nothing monetary or anything at all apart from just seeing other people's soul that just makes my heart warm. So that's why I put myself out and do so many different things. At the moment, we've got an initiative where I've just been given a whole bus, a double-decker bus, for free, so that we can actually feed and house the homeless. And again, that's it. For me, just wanting to help and try and change the world, because I realise from what I've gone through that there are a lot of unjust things in the world, and unless we stand up and say, well, I'm going to be counted, nothing will change. And the problem is so many people are fearful, or they believe they cannot make the change, that, oh, they're only a little person. But no, it doesn't matter. Every single one of you is powerful, beyond powerful, but it's a case of actually doing the doing instead of doing the talking. Many people do the shoulda, woulda, coulda, instead of just doing it. There is no failure in trying something and you're not succeeding. The failure is not trying in the first place or applying yourself in the first place. Failure is success in disguise. And the thing is why I say that is because even if you try it and it doesn't work, you've learnt something going forward. So when you try again, you know you're not going to make that mistake. The failure is in not recognising it and doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So when you're having to rock your story, you tell people what the story is. You tell people how it's going to help them. But not just tell them how it's going to help them, you give them examples. So when I say live streaming things, it helps because people see your message. So for instance, I was filmed on the 4 networking television in England, and it's 5,000 networking meetings a year for 4 networking, and they filmed me, and it went on the channel, and it went on Twitter, and somebody in America saw my story, a film producer, and they contacted me and they wanted to do my documentary. So they came over to England, and I decided after a while thinking about it that no, I don't want to do the documentary. Not that I don't ever want to do it, I want to do it on my terms. So it's not about just taking any visibility. When you've got visibility coming your way, you have to be strategic, you have to be true to yourself, to your own integrity, what you want. My father's always told me, shortcut no make it. So that means shortcuts do not make it. Don't just think that it's just there in front of you, you must grab it and take it. Take your time, make sure it is right for you, because it's only going to reflect back on you in times to come when you make the wrong decision. You know, make sure it's ethical, it's sustainable, and it's integrity, everything that you stand for. That's what I stand for, so you've got to look and find out what it is that you stand for. I don't just take anything just for money. There's speaking gigs I do for a lot of money, and there's some that I do for free to some schools that can't afford it. I speak in schools. When I go back the day after, I'm doing a pilot scheme for the job centres for unemployed people, the big, I don't know what you call them in the other countries, but where there's unemployment, they've got to go and sign up for the money. In England, it's a job centre. So I'm teaching them how to uniquely self-boost themselves, not to rely on other people to show them that they need to go out there and get a job. It has to come from within. And that's it. Once you learn that and you start being uniquely you, you can then start to share your story. You can start to rock your story. You have to be a people person. There's no point sharing a story if you cannot connect with your audience. If you can't do the simple thing that is free, which is smiling. When someone comes to talk to you and you are dismissive of them, you're not going to get your story shared, because even if you're not stood on stage with a mic in your hand and you're engaging with people, and if you cannot smile or you can't reciprocate someone, then they're not going to then go forward and then promote you elsewhere. Because when you meet people, as you know, word of mouth is the biggest marketing tool. So whether on stage or not, just by engaging with people, that's your marketing. Whenever you meet somebody, you've got to think everybody's your marketeer. You're somebody's marketeer, I'm everyone's marketeer. And it's about utilising one another. It's about strength in numbers. It's about synergy, not competition. Because I notice here, this conference in particular, there's lots of personal development specialists, lots of mentors, lots of coaches, and it's about all coming together. We're all from different countries. Why not then look at the synergy where I'll invite you to my country and I'll do conferences and we'll come together and deliver, and vice versa. You invite me to yours and we speak on stage. And it's all about strength in numbers. That's how you become visible. When you get your power teams, when you collaborate, is how you get the strength in numbers and how you get your visibility and how you rock your story. And the power of your story is not talking about the pure details within the story, it's about talking about what you learn from the story. So it's one element. Many people go through so many things, you know, health scares, murder, whatever it may be. It's not about talking about the intricate details, it's about how you avoid it, or when it does come your way, how to deal with it. People want to know, how do you push forward? They don't need to know about all the gory details, you know, leave that for a book. But when you're there in front of somebody, you have to show them how to rise, how to shine, how to be visible in the correct way. That's what it's all about. Visibility is something you've got to take very seriously. If you're on social media, you have to remember that the world, the eyes are on you. And if you don't want it out there, don't put it out there. That's the key thing. If you're wanting to keep a very focused line, don't just put random pictures of your family on there and random pictures of you shopping at Walmart or Asda. and silly things. No, you've got to keep it consistent. Your message has to be on brand. You cannot step away from the brand that you are. So if I'm the motivational queen, I can't go up there and say, oh gosh, I feel rubbish today. It's not going to work. It really isn't. And if you have those down days, that's fine. You will have them. Everyone has them. The most motivational people in the world have them. But if they teach themselves and they walk the walk what they're telling other people to do, they can actually self-coach themselves back out of it. However, I do advocate having a coach. It's very important because people need accountability as well, and someone there to push them and remind them on the journey, on the path that they're on. So when it comes to visibility, get yourself a great coach, get yourself inner confidence, be uniquely you, and share value with people, and be visible online. Create blogs, have your own website. Don't have email addresses that are at gmail.com or at whatever it is. Have professional email addresses. You need to, if you want to be visible, be professional from top to toe. You can't skimp on it, and if you can't do it for right now, don't show it yet. Hold back, show the bits that are professional first, and work on the rest. My book's almost done, but I'm not going to just send it out without the edits. Why would you do that? You've got to send it out polished. So anything you do, make sure you are polished. If you're talking about being positive and great with branding, don't look like a bag of rubbish. You have to make sure you're on point all this. It's important. What people see, they're looking up to you, they want to emulate to you. So if you then have a down day, it makes them question them, the way in which they were looking at you. Then if they're questioning themselves, what will happen then? Word of mouth is not a good word of mouth then in your case. So you always have to make sure you're on point with all the information that you're giving out. It has to be consistent. So on that end, I'm just on time. So I am going to pass over to my wonderful colleague who's going to talk to you for the second part of this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Zoe. That was exceptionally good and really practical. Appreciate that. Okay, is he there? From South Africa.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My name is Aparna from South Africa. Welcome. Wow, Zoe. Where do I start? We talk about everything that I wanted to talk about. I suppose because we do a similar topic, exactly the same topic, and we do exactly the same thing in our respective countries. So everything that I wanted to say, you just said. But I think it's best for me if maybe I tell you a little bit more about who I am and the story that I want to share with you. Today is that. From April the 4th, last year, I stopped talking. I lost my voice. The work that I do involves motivational speaking, women development, youth development, so I need this voice. I use this voice. Imagine having to use the very tool of trade that you use. I was coming from a conference, and when I got home, I thought I had a little bit of flu. When I went to the doctors, they said I had laryngitis. Continued for about 2 weeks, but the voice was gone. To cut the long story short, I had 4 operations on my vocal cords, and nobody knew up until to date what happened to me. The first time I've ever started talking again was in February, March this year. And now in May, I'm in India. I'm talking. Where do I start now when it comes to really making it out there in life, using the power of wisdom? More volume. More volume. Where do I start? If you look at me, you see a very happy person today. I've got stories to tell that are coming to my book. When I was 18, the day I turned 18, that's the day I buried my mother. I was a second year university, and my mother passed away, and she was buried the day I turned 18. I didn't die. I thought I was going to die. That was way back in 1990. I was the first person to ever be sent to university at home, and I made it. I've got a master's degree in psychology right now, as well as a law degree. And my mother is not there. She wasn't there to see me graduate. November 12th, 2007, my father passed away. I'm telling you all these things so that you understand who I am and where I come from, and why do I want to talk to you about rocking your own story and making it not feeling sorry for yourself. That's where I'm driving it, not feeling sorry for yourself. March 17th, Wednesday, 2010. The only brother who was born of my father and mother, passed away through food poisoning. He was coming after me 2 weeks before he got married. I nearly died. I thought I was going to die because this is the person I grew up with, and here he is now. He's dying just before he got married. I was hospitalized 2 or 3 times that year because I didn't think that I was ever going to make it. Let's turn back. That is the same year I worked so hard that I got to be nominated for the Businesswoman of the Year Awards. There were 148 women throughout South Africa. I was one of the 3 finalists that made it, who got to be awarded by the President of South Africa. And I was younger than everybody else. At that time, I was younger than 40. That's the story that I want to talk to you about. In times of trouble, when you think that everything is not there, when you think that the world is against you, this is when that you need to stand up. The power of resilience, the power of telling yourself that you are going to make it, that's what drives you. Being you, believing in yourself, knowing that the strength in you, not just strength, physical strength, the strength in you is what makes your story to happen. The things that I've gone through, the things that I've seen in my age, really would make another person to say, there's no world out there. I don't want to be here anymore. But if you believe in yourself, if you tell yourself that this is going to happen whether I like it or not, this is going to happen. And being that strong person inside, that resilience, that knowing for a fact that there is a power beyond you that drives you to do, because you've got a gift and the gift is inside. And you need to wake up that inner gift that's in you. If you don't do that, you're never going to be able to rock your story. Wallowing into self-pity and sitting in that dark corner, feeling that the world owes you something. The world doesn't owe you anything. You stand up and do what you have to do. Every single one of us in this room, every single one of us in this conference have got stories to tell. We can sit here and cry all day. We can write books. But what makes you unique as a person? Still, whatever travesty that comes your way, whatever difficulty that comes your way, how to deal with that. How to deal with a failed marriage, how to deal with kids that do not listen to you, how to deal with drug abuse, how to deal with alcohol abuse, all depends on how you take the life, the things that come your way. You need them when you're looking at your story, making people see who you are. Let's talk confidence. As you walk into a room, you're going to be looking down when you're about to make a speech. People look at you and they say that you know nothing about what you're going to be talking about. The confidence that you walk with, the confidence and believing in yourself is what makes your story unique. It's what makes your story people want to listen to you and wanting more from you. Zoe, you said in the UK, you've got things that I actually look and see them with similar things in South Africa, actually in the whole of Africa. But let me talk about South Africa. As I do youth development, as I do women development, I meet all sorts of people from all walks of life. And we are not a very rich country. So if you're coming from my country, you know that you will meet your poorest of the poor, your middle class, and the rich. The gap between these two is too much. So what do you do if you're a person who have to go and motivate and talk to the people who are coming from at the bottom, from the bottom of the economy. What is you need to go and speak to the people at the top of the economy. What happens when you have to mix those two? Let's say they're working for a certain corporate, you've got your workers and you've got your top management. What do you do in that? How do you tell the story so that it gets to be understood by the people down there as well as by the people up there? What do? You cannot change who you are. You need to be uniquely you. You are not going to be telling the people the story that they want to hear. You need to tell them what you know. Whether you like it, she doesn't like it, I like it, but you have to tell your truth. When you want to talk and rock in your story, it is about the truth. Nothing else but the truth. When you're looking at a person, the next person, when they see you, they must see the truth in your eyes. That's the thing that people make, they get attracted to you. You can Google on the internet all sorts of things. Both me and Zoe, I was actually very surprised that she also doesn't have a presentation. I could have Googled and had volumes and volumes of that story, but that's not going to be who I am. I could read everything on the internet and talk about how to rock your story. No, I decided not. Because I wanted you to listen to who I am and how do I tell my own story. Of all the problems that I've gone through in the life, as well as the problems that I've seen, as well as the tears that I've cried. But here I am standing in New Delhi today, wearing a beautiful sari that was donated to me. Which again is yet another story when I lost my luggage. I came here with no clothes. And an angel was sent to me to donate this sari that I'm wearing today. That has made me look so beautiful, which I didn't have. I didn't even think I would ever own a sari. Thank you very much, and a special angel. That's what people want to see. They want to see you as a person, because when I spoke and told people my story about what happened with my luggage, people felt the need to assist me. And that's how you should be approaching life. Any person that you meet out there in life, if you tell them who you are, and if you talk to them at the level where they will understand you, not at the level that you want them to understand you, at the level that they will. You need to put yourself all the time at the shoes of that person that you're telling your story to. Being authentic, being unique, the power of resilience, the power of determination. If you tell yourself that you're going to be doing this, no one should stand in your way. The determination, that strength that's inside you should be driving you to do the things that you want to do. And you're not going to be telling your story if you're going to be writing things down and getting people to read. You need to go out there and let people hear you. They must see it in your eyes. What is it that you are saying? And you cannot be sitting in that corner and crying day in and day out. All of us will go through problems in life, but you need to come out of that. One of the things that we don't do is to tell the beautiful stories. We always look at the sad stories. Hence, when I started my topic, I told you my sad stories, but I said the very same year I got to be nominated as a Businesswoman of the Year, of which the previous year I was nominated as the most influential woman in business and government in South Africa. It's a huge thing for a person who's younger than 40 at that time to achieve those things. By the time I was 30 years old, I was already a director in one of the companies. This is a person who lost her mother at 18. This is a person who buried her mother when she was only turning 18, when I thought the world had ended. When my brother was killed through poison, I thought the world had ended. But look at me now. I'm standing here in New Delhi, in India. I made it possible that I come so that I can talk and tell you how I made it, because I feel that I have made it, despite everything else that has happened to me. I didn't sit down and wait for the government to give me something as if they owe me anything. Nobody owes you anything. And when you're telling your story, people need to see who you are. They need to see the truth in your eyes. And they need to see that you want to do things. You don't want to be given only. It's nice to be given, but you want to do things yourself. That is how you rock your story. People look at you and they see, as you walk in, you walk tall. I wrote a poem in December talking about the voice. The voice loss. and the things that I've learned throughout the time that I had my voice going. When I sat in hospital thinking, what now? I use this voice to talk. What now? I use this voice for a living. What now? Doctors do not find anything. And I call it voice loss chronicles. What is happening to me? I cried over it, but I said, this is not going to put me down. I am going to stand up. The voice is going to come back. Whatever that took it, is going to bring it back. And whatever took it, brought it back. Because here I am now speaking at an international conference. And I'm going to another international conference. And I'm going to another international conference. I'm not going to stop. Because had I been that person who sits and waits for things to come to me, I would have said, this is the end of the world. This voice is never going to come back. If the top ENT specialists in the country say that they don't see anything wrong with me, so then, who am I? But through that power of determination, through that power of knowing and believing in myself, I believed and I commanded that the voice comes back. And the voice is here. And that's how you rock your story. Things that you believe in, you command and you call on them to come to you. You talk to the universe. You say, universe, this is what I believe in. Give it to me. Bring it to me. And the universe listens. Whatever power that you believe in, use that power. And it will bring back whatever that you never wanted it to do. That's how you rock your story. That's how you believe. And self-love. Self-love. Walk into that door, looking shady. What you're about to address, the professionals. They're not going to listen to you, they'll walk out. In any case, as you're talking, they'll be busy doing their own things. You cannot be above or below what is expected of you. If you are going to go and talk to a particular audience, you need to understand who your audience is, so that you can relate to what the people are saying or what the people are feeling. I talk from the South African context because of the disparities that we have in the country. I cannot be seen to be going to a slum area, for lack of a better word, and I am talking at high level where people do not understand. I've even had to learn to speak most South African languages so that I can be able to reach the people that I'm talking to. When I don't preach, when I go and talk at the slums, I use the language that the people will understand me, not just English. So it depends from where I go. Then you need to be reachable. You need to be approachable. People must look at you and they must see that the person knows what they're going to be talking about. And they must see that you will be giving assistance and offering yourself. 5 more minutes. You are offering yourself to them. It's being unique. It's being determined. Power of resilience and knowing for a fact that you want what you want. And you're going to get what you want. You command and ask what you want. And people will look at you. And again, just like Zoe said, you cannot sit and wallow into that self-pity and saying that things have gone wrong. You are not the only one. Things have gone wrong to everyone. But you need to make the best of whatever that has gone wrong. When I got nominated, at the time that my brother was just being buried, 2 weeks later I was given that award by the South African president. I had tears in my eyes because I would have wanted my brother to come. And this is the year that we hosted the World Cup, Soccer World Cup in the country. The whole country was in bars, it was so nice. But there I was, having just buried my brother. But I made something out of any of the things that have gone wrong in my life. And that's what, ladies and gentlemen, that I wanted to share with you. Saying that whatever you have gone through, people mustn't see you. That's what my mother used to say. No matter what problems that you suffer, people mustn't see that on your face. They must see they must see the power of a person who wants to achieve. If you do not have the power of wanting to achieve, you are never going to be able to tell your story at home, because you sit there and waiting for things to fall on your plate. Nothing comes free. And you are not the only one who suffers any of the things that you suffer. So you need to be able to stand up. Just like a coil. You know how a coil is? The coil, you can press it down, but it springs up. So when things happen to you, and how you tell your story, that coil, the way that it springs up, you need to be able to do that in any of the life challenges. Take the challenges, take the problems as the challenges as they come, and you say, I will overcome. Power of overcoming. Power of overcoming every single way. And here you are, you'll be able to achieve the things that you want to do. Isn't that?
You have another 2 minutes. We're going to wrap up.
Okay.
And then we have questions.
All right. So ladies, thank you very much for listening. That's the story. That's what I wanted to share with you, that in any of the problems that you're going through, get rid of that. Get rid of that comfort zone, thinking that the world owes you anything. It doesn't. Make the best of whatever problems that you have, and show that people look at you. And I'm sure right now, as I walk in here today, nobody knows that I actually lost my luggage. My luggage apparently went to London, and I come from South Africa. That means my next stop is in London.
Yes, clearly.
My next stop is in London, and I'm determined that I'm there to get given speech. So basically, whatever problems that we have, make it important that you overcome them. You are never going to win if you wallow in self-pity and cry all the time. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Zine. Thank you, Zoe. What you both shared, I think, is exceptionally real. And it drew at my own heartstrings because I think of young women, and I was one of those who saw possibilities through other people and through their stories and what was real for them. And the vulnerability and courage to share that, and that helped me propel and project myself beyond my current circumstances. And I think what you're doing can do that for others that are still coming. And then lastly, from my side, there's a saying in English that says, what did not kill you makes you stronger. I borrowed a new version of that saying, and it says, what did not kill you or couldn't, because you were already stronger. And I think that's the story of each one of us here today. All right, I'm opening the floor for questions and comments. Anybody from our audience? Yeah?
I can speak without pen.
All right.
Yeah. So, personally, I'm a very negative person, and I personally feel that motivation doesn't last if it is not intrinsic. So, can you suggest some readings that can help whenever any person is feeling low to motivate themselves?
Okay. There is a book that I read at the time when I was actually taking the government on, and everybody was saying to me, you can't win the giant, you'll never be able to, and you know, it's not worth it because of what they can do to you. There was one book that I read, and after reading that, amongst with all the things that I knew anyway, it gave me the resilience when I felt that there was nothing else I could do. And it was The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And it teaches you how to strategize, how to slow everything down and be methodical in your thinking, and not looking at the war versus the battle. So the battles, you don't have to win the battles, but the war, you need to prepare yourself and arm yourself ready for that. And if you allow people to believe they've won the battles, you've got a greater chance of winning the war. So it's a case of if someone calls you a name, that's a battle, doesn't matter, you've got to just let it wash over you. But when it comes to them coming at you harder than that, because they've seen that you let that wash over you, their defense is going to be lower when you actually come back and strategize and go forward. So The Art of War by Sun Tzu is very important. And when you're feeling that you've got no motivation, put post-it notes, do affirmations. Now I do my affirmation. And people say, oh, well, you've got to do affirmations all the time. Yeah, you do. But you've got to start somewhere. And where you start is not what I'm going to tell you what I do for mine. You've got to find out what it is that makes you tick, the word, the thing that makes you feel better about yourself. So I tell myself, and I'm going to do it without the microphone because I do it really loudly. So I say to myself in the morning, I'll say 3 things. Today is my day. I can, I will. And I do it in front of the mirror because it's like I'm talking to you and I'm talking to my own soul. I'm literally digging, and I'm like, I can, I will. And I do it with attitude. You've got to, without the attitude, it doesn't become real. So I can, I will, today is my day. And I say, I am awesome. And I'm like, I am awesome. I am awesome. I am awesome. And I tell myself, you've got to feel it. Without feeling it, you're not it. And the more you do that every single day, subliminally, you become awesome. And no matter what comes in your way, nothing can actually hit you. You've got this visible, invisible sphere around you that everything bounces off. And when you say to yourself, you're awesome now, when you're in front of people, you don't have to say that anymore because you're saying it within. So you tell yourself, even if you talk to someone and you don't feel comfortable, tell yourself you're awesome. And the more and more you do that, you embody it, you become it. So this thing about you not feeling motivated, you're talking yourself out of being motivated by saying the words. So when I tell you, by me telling myself I'm awesome, I'm saying the words, so I'm talking myself into it. So you've now got to tell yourself, find a word, whether you're fantastic, whether you're amazing, whether you're intelligent, you've got to tell yourself, what word would you say you are?
Like, yes, you can do it.
I can do it, but come here, come on.
I am able.
You've got to do this. Seriously, you've got to embody it, come on. You really have to embody it. Without embodying it, you don't change anything about your situation. You stay in your situation, and your situation controls you instead of doing the other way. So what do you think about yourself positive?
It's a little bit difficult for me to do now.
No, don't talk yourself out of it. What? Just one word that you think that you are. Just one word. Forget anyone else in the room. One word.
Yes, you are capable of doing this.
I am capable. Yeah? So I want you to feel it from your stomach. Say, I am capable.
I am capable.
And I want you to say it louder, but I want you to feel it from your stomach. I am. Say, I am capable.
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 And you keep telling yourself that I am capable. I am capable. So you say it one more time.
I am capable.
Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Are you what?
I feel a different kind of ability.
Keep going, keep going. I am capable.
I am capable.
You are what? I am capable.
I am capable.
And every day you tell yourself that when you're driving in the mirror, you tell yourself, I am capable. The more and more you do it, it becomes you. That's it.
Would you like to use the mic then?
Sure.
I would like to thank our two sisters because I think really you've uplifted us with your experiences, and I feel very motivated. Just being here in this conference, I've seen this lady. I haven't even been able to ask her name, but what really drew me to her in my spirit was her smile. I've seen her pass by, during the conference in different halls, and she walks very fast actually, but her smile is amazing. She reflects that beauty, that warmth, and you get a sense that whatever she's doing, she's passionate about it. So anyway, that aside, what I wanted to just ask you to contribute perhaps maybe a few remarks. In reality, I see several rocky mountains in my life whereby I find those obstacles I overcame, small hills, higher hills, and being in a valley sometimes. When you look at it as a vision in an image, it gives you that picture. Also the tears that you mentioned, that sometimes the tears that we cry form many rivers to cross, like Jimmy Cliff's song. But it's a good picture at the end, obviously, because when we look back and see those images, we get the strength that we've overcome. And that's really beautiful. But the reality too is that when we are actually going through those moments, it's very, very hard. Absolutely hard. And I really don't know whether sometimes we even have the energy to make those affirmations. So I'm wondering, what is the role of the spiritual resources as an enabler for us to be able to cope when we have absolutely no energy, no strength? I think this is really part of being human, because even leaders like Jesus Christ, there were times when they would go for a retreat just to get some strength from prayer, through prayer, to strengthen themselves internally. So how do you advise in terms of ensuring that we always have the capacity within us, whatever you believe in, whether it's Krishna, whether it's whoever that you believe in your culture, to ensure that all the time, whenever those moments come and you are completely under, you can still be able to navigate yourself out. Thank you.
Thank you, Aparna. Thank you so much. I think I mentioned as I was talking earlier on about the belief system, believing in the power above, believing in, well, I'll talk about me. I believe in God. That's me. That doesn't mean that you need to believe exactly the same thing that I believe in, but use the belief that you have in whatever power that you believe in. Use it. I know what you mean when the world feels as if it's closing on you, when you don't have the strength to even pray, when you question yourself that, do I even have to pray because things now have gone so bad that God is not even listening? How do you motivate yourself? I think that's your question. That's what you want to do. That's what you want us to talk about. Let me use my own example. There are days that I don't want to pray. I say, no, I've given up now. There is no God. He's forsaken me if he is there. He cannot allow all these things to happen to me. How do I stand up from that point? Because that's when then I believe that that's what the devil wants me to feel. His presence, or its presence. I don't know how to call it devil, whether it's the he or the it. Whatever it is, they want me to move away from God. Power of belief is in here. You get yourself out of that. Zoe was just demonstrating with my sister over there that capability. That's when then you need to talk to yourself. I believe in God. I believe in God. I am going to pray. I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. and pray. I am going to get out of my bed at 3 a.m. and pray. And the bed at that time feels so nice and so warm. And I've been praying every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. This God does not respond. You stand up and say, I will pray, because he will respond. It all comes in that belief system inside. You need to hold on to your faith and you say, I believe. Can we all say that? I believe.
I believe.
I believe. Don't say it because I'm saying you must say it. I, Zinem Kukwana from South Africa, standing in front of you, I believe. You need to say that to yourself as well, whoever you are and wherever you're coming from. If you have that belief, it will happen. Yesterday, everything was spinning around me when I lost my luggage. When I was told that my luggage has gone to another continent, for crying out loud. And the power that controls me, that belief that controls me, said to me, you will be okay. And today I'm okay. Today I'm okay. Because that power that I believe in sent the angels to me. So to answer you, my sister from Canada, all you need to do is to have that belief system. Hold on to it. Hold on to it. Tell yourself as you drive in your car, as tears stream down your face, and you say, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, up until you really believe. Don't say I believe, no. Up until you believe. You know when you believe, you feel it. You feel the goosebumps in you, because now you know that you believe. You'll be able to pray. That spiritual connection that you're talking about, it will be there even during the times when you think that all is lost. Thank you very much.
We have 5 minutes left. Any more? I'm not sure it will reach all the way, ma'am.
Thank you. Not a question. I just want to say thank you to both of you. Strong, beautiful, resilient women. You are overcomers. And you're also light and sparks for so many young women, elders, and everyone in between. So thank you for sharing your stories. And thank you for telling your story about the luggage. You know, it's present, it's current, like you could be spinning around in all kinds of directions, but you're not. At least you're not here. Right? Because sometimes, you know, you're still spinning, but you show up in a different kind of way because you got to, right? So I just want to thank you both. Very powerful. Thank you.
Any closing comments from the panel?
Just thank you very much for taking the time to come in and listen to us. And just remember to rock your story and to give people value and to smile. Yay! Yay! So thank you.
Picture.
Yeah, that'd be fabulous.
Closing remarks from me. Gonzalez said everything. All you need to do is just to be uniquely you. There's no other person except you. There's only one sin in the corner. And there's only one soul. And that's it. Just be you. That's what I need.
Can we take a picture with you?
Please, a group picture.
The speakers. So I will add you to my affirmations. I'll look at the picture and I'll say, I believe.